30 seconds. 25. Corona.
It's an awe-inspiring wonder, and no one anywhere knows more about eclipses than 2018 College of Natural Sciences distinguished alumnus Fred Espenak. Known simply as Mr. Eclipse, this 1976 astrophysics master's degree holder, a retired astronomer for NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, is the world's leading authority as the moon, earth, and sun align. During the great total eclipse of 2017, which crossed the United States, Fred was a national celebrity, appearing on television shows and in every major newspaper in the country.
Just before totality, the sky starts getting dark, and you get one bright bead on the edge of the sun's disk that's called the diamond ring effect.
If you didn't see Fred sparkling on television, you might recognize his talents, which were put on display by the United States Postal Service. To commemorate the eclipse, the Postal Service issued a special thermochromic postage stamp featuring 2 of Fred's photos. This first-of-its-kind stamp was heat-sensitive, transforming the image of an eclipse into the image of the full moon, simply from the heat of one's finger. 60 million of the 16 stamped sheets were produced. Fred grew up along with his late sister Nancy on Staten Island in New York. Dave and Michael's friend went on to earn his bachelor's in physics from Wagner University in 1974 and came to UT upon the recommendation of the chair of Wagner's physics department, who was also a Toledo alumnus. Ritter Planetarium and astronomy professor Bernie Bopp helped craft Fred's favorite UT memories, as he was able to take the spectra of stars, graphs of the amount of light given off by stars as seen from Earth. Following his graduation, Fred was hired by NASA's Goddard Center, where he developed and used infrared spectrometers to probe the atmospheres of the planets. His research included monitoring ozone in Mars's atmosphere, detecting and measuring winds on Venus, Mars, and Titan, and measuring hydrocarbons in the stratospheres of Jupiter and Saturn. He also worked on the Space Shuttle Discovery, co-investigator of an instrument that flew in the cargo bay. But it was when he became NASA's expert on solar and lunar eclipse predictions that Fred got his nickname. He wrote over a dozen NASA eclipse bulletins and created the official NASA Eclipse website. Fred became enamored with eclipses when, as a high school student in 1970, he traveled 600 miles to North Carolina to witness and photograph a total solar eclipse. He has since observed solar eclipses from all 7 continents. On his way to Antarctica, he stopped on the island of South Georgia, where he met a flightless bird believed related to the Bowling Green falcon. His personal life took flight while leading an eclipse trip to India in 1995. One of the people who paid to go on Fred's trip was Patricia Totten. They wed in 2006 and have traveled to over a dozen total eclipses together. Still to come, eclipses in Chile and Argentina, and a full total eclipse that will cut directly across Toledo in April of 2024. Fred retired from NASA in 2009. He moved to southern Arizona, a town called Portal, and began construction on the first of 2 astronomical observatories. The astronomer's home is 60 miles away from the nearest grocery store, a place where there is total darkness. Here's a view of the Milky Way as seen from one of the Umbraphiles, that's a lover of shadows, observatories. And how about this? Valerie and Maggie's grandpa, who has witnessed 29 total solar eclipses, is so famous that he has a planet named in his honor. In 2003, the International Astronomical Union recognized Fred's impact on this planet by designating minor planet 14120 as Espenak. His planet is in orbit between Mars and Jupiter and takes 3.7 years to make a full orbital rotation, traveling 250 million miles during that time. In 2018, Mr. Eclipse, Fred Espenak, received something else which bears his name. He's the College of Natural Science and Mathematics Outstanding Alumnus.